Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to our webinar today, Agent Breaks in Action. Today we will continue the exciting series of webinars that we've done in the last period, and we are getting back to one of our dearest subjects, Agent Breaks. Actually, AI agents, but we'll talk in the upcoming minutes about agent breaks and what that is. Um, Together with my colleague Theo, we will tell you a little bit about agent breaks, AI agents in general, and some key takeaways from Databricks Data and AI Summit that happened last month. So, Theo, if you'd like to
Thank you. Yeah, I would like to
introduce.
welcome everyone. Happy to have you here, and we're excited to share with you what we've learned in the past weeks. And my name is Theo. I'm a technical director here at Mindit. I'm passionate about all things data and AI, and yeah, I want to share with you what we know and what we've worked on. Alex.
Good. So I actually forgot to introduce myself. So I'm Alex Puyo. I'm CTO at Mindit and uh, very passionate about data and AI because those two go hand in hand. So um, moving on, today we will talk about couple of, let's say, subjects, like the current state of AI agents. If you've attended our previous webinar, I think in December last year, we had another session about AI agents in a different format, let's say, but AI evolves like crazy, and now things are very different, although it's been only like 7 months since that session. Then we'll talk about agent breaks and the most exciting part of this session, the demo time, where we will show you how you can build your own agent using agent breaks and leverage the power of AI agents at a fraction of the time that usually took until now to build your own agent and leverage the technology.
Thank you, Alex. Before we dive into um, agent bricks, I just want to have like a brief recap of how we got here and what AI agents are, so we're all on the same page because there are so many different definitions of agents. Essentially, um, we've seen this fundamental shift in the past couple of years from AI that just talks to AI that acts. So, imagine moving from asking AI for recommendations to actually having AI take action. And this is what happens, and this is described very beautifully here on this graph. So we started with just plain old chatbots with back and forth answers. Then came retrieval augmented generation, which augmented the chatbot's answering capabilities with fresh news or proprietary company knowledge. Then we've moved on to copilots, and there's GitHub Copilot, there's Microsoft Copilot, and other Copilot-like applications, which are essentially agents that work side by side with a user to complete a task, but they don't actually do something without the user's, input or consent. And then there are fully autonomous agents that can respond to, stimuli with minimum human intervention. And yeah, this enables you to now, ask a chatbot, suggest dinner options, and then make a reservation even. So this is what agentic AI refers to: AI systems that possess a degree of autonomy, enabling them to perform tasks, make decisions, take actions independently with minimum intervention from humans. And let's have a look at how a basic agent looks like. What are the essential building blocks of agents, Alex? Can you tell us a bit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so in essence, an agent is a collection of inputs, tools, memory capabilities, retrieval capabilities, all tied to an LLM. So the LLM is the core of the agent. You need an LLM model, whether it's a public one, your own private model that's enhanced with your own proprietary data. Usually, this last one brings the most power for an organization because you have a model that knows you. And this model is then integrated with different capabilities like retrieval, starting from what you said earlier, like from the old, just how to say it, oh, a little bit older RAG architecture, retrieval augmented generation. Then you can use tools and you can interact with your own applications, platforms external for the LLM and for the agent. And also then you have the memory part that allows the agent to know what has done, what feedback to the user has given and incorporate it in the further executions. And there are also a couple of things more that were added, let's say, to this uh, building block architecture
Hmm.
of agents.
So
And
basically, an agent is an LLM at the core with access to tools, data, stores, and memory to make reasoning, right? And get an output.
exactly,
Hmm.
to simulate reasoning
Okay.
and understand the patterns for the task that it's built for.
Patterns, exactly. That's the next slide here. So we have tools, we have memory, but an agent also means working in a certain way. This is the advanced reasoning part, which essentially means making use of certain patterns, like the React pattern, which is a very popular one, which is short for reasoning and acting. And this is an approach used by many of the AI frameworks out there to enable LLM-based agents to reason and take actions dynamically. This pattern combines natural language with tools or actions, allowing an agent to not only think through a problem, this is the reasoning part, but also interact with external systems. This is the acting part. So it can gather information, solve tasks, or complete actions using tools like function calling, helper functions, and so on. This is also called and known as the agentic loop. So you plan, you act, you observe, you reflect, and then you repeat again until you reach a goal. And again, going back to what agents are, there are many definitions of agents. Essentially, the most popular one is that the agent is the LLM plus the memory plus the planning skills plus tool use. Another good definition of it is that an agent is a system that can pursue a goal-oriented behavior, adapt along the way to achieve its goals. And the more agentic the application is, the more the LLM decides the control flow of the application. All right. That doesn't mean, no matter how advanced or autonomous an AI agent is, doesn't eliminate completely the human in the loop. I very much like this metaphor called the AI sandwich, which you see right here on the screen. And this refers to the AI being in the middle of the task flow with human input serving as the bread on either side. So AI is the filling. The top slice is, human insight. The user defines the task, sets up initial conditions or a goal, or asks us a question, and then the AI takes over, performs the task autonomously, gathers data, generating insights, going through that agentic loop that I mentioned earlier. And then it goes back to the human maybe, so that human judgment becomes more important when you introduce AI tools, right? You want the human to review, right, the output of AI. But even in the central part, humans can still be in the loop, right? Maybe you need to review something of the AI's output, provide feedback live, or adjust or refine the task, or maybe it asks for additional information. So that's why human in the loop is crucial, right? So yeah, we're still not out of the picture yet, right?
No, for sure. I think it goes more and more to the idea that AI is our companion.
Exactly. Yeah,
And it helps us focus and transition our energy and efforts towards the things that really bring value and help us do the common things faster and easier.
agreed. Agreed, Alex. And so what I showed you right now, we've had in our previous webinar, but I just wanted to recap and make sure we're all aligned on what agents are. But also wanted to give you a quick update into the current state of agentic AI. So we all know that Gen AI is advancing at a rapid pace in search of that, artificial general intelligence, AGI, and every day a new AI powered tool, a new model, a new framework appears. It's hard to keep up even for us. But what we want to highlight, what happened in the past months. Uh, you probably heard of MCP, the Model Context Protocol, which Anthropic has developed and open sourced, and all of the other players in the domain have adopted it. This defines and exposes tools for LLMs, these function calls for retrieval, for memory, for, in a standard way. Then there's the computer use agents, which enables models with vision capabilities and advanced reasoning through reinforcement learning to interact with graphical user interfaces. Essentially, clicking buttons, opening up menus, just as humans do. Take as an example OpenAI operator, if you have used it, and deep research. Now they just released agent mode, which is essentially kind of operator plus deep research together. That's a really powerful tool. It's essentially basically a sandboxed computer, which the agent uses to, you know, run UIs, graphical user interfaces like a human would, and also run terminal commands and so on. And then there's the agent development kit from Google. So Google gave us this framework, which they open sourced, and now it's a standard interface for building multi-agent systems. This defines how agents interact with one another, communicate, etc. And it also uses MCP. So essentially, adoption kicks in, and companies build on top of each other. Why fight it if it's good, right? And this enables previously long established patterns like retrieval augmented generation to upgrade themselves. And Llama Index coined the phrase ROG is dead, long live agentic retrieval now. And a lot of other companies, including Microsoft, are adopting this agentic retrieval augmented generation now. So essentially, that's in a nutshell what has happened in the past months. And thank you for being patient with us. And now let's give you a quick update into, we just attended this Data and AI Summit from Databricks last month. Very exciting. And we want to just quickly highlight key takeaways from that summit. Alex, can you tell us a bit about what they?
Sure. So yeah, maybe some of you have already seen this picture, but attending the event was a breeze from many perspectives, from meeting with experts, with friends, and uh, most of it having a glance at what's coming in the Databricks ecosystem and the Databricks platform. And for us, one thing that we left home with was we are actually witnessing some disruptive times with Databricks challenging the traditional way of doing things and building an ecosystem. So if before we were rather referring to it as a platform, right now it feels more like an ecosystem that brings together more features and actually more parts of the organization. It's not only about data and data engineers and data scientists and machine learning. It enables integration of domain experts, of analysts that actually leverage the technology without having to, without requiring them to have the deep technical knowledge. So here you can look at Lakeflow and Lakeflow Designer that allows analysts to build data engineering pipelines. You have Lakebase that can be used for transactional workloads. And a very nice thing is Databricks apps that allows you to build and deploy applications next to your data, like very close to it. And you have the free edition, which is allowing any person out there to actually have a glance at what Databricks offers and decide whether that's a good platform for them or not. But honestly, once you get a taste, it's hard to forget it, to be honest. So that's it at a glance, and you can find more about it on Databricks website. Today
Mm-hmm.
we will talk more about Agentbricks, what it is, how to get started, and also see in action some of the other features announced during the summit. So what is Agent Bricks? It's a new way to build high quality production ready agents using prompting without the with out of the box evaluation and tuning capabilities. So offloading um, the focus and the effort from tweaking the toggles, changing the prompts, changing the LLMs, which one works better, and fine-tuning the agents. Now you give the agent a scope, a purpose, and Agent Bricks builds it behind the scenes. So there are different use cases that are currently available for Agent Bricks, amongst which you have document classification, data insights, conversational agents. Um, that can be built faster, and you just have to use a prompt like define the possible categories and whether they are customizable or not,
Mm-hmm.
and you just get that input and the agents give you the output. Moreover, you have evaluation and tuning without having to do anything. You just, when you build the agent, you have these features, and you will see them in the demo session. And then you see how the agent replies to an input, fine tune it. Is it good? Is it not? You can also use the auto optimization options that is backed up by Mosaic AI research, and it's a whole set of techniques and features that enable these agents to actually deliver lower out of the box costs with higher quality versus your own custom do-it-yourself
Mm-hmm.
agents. So
It's
that
essentially a streamlined
yeah,
approach, right?
yeah,
To
and again, you can do it without having the deep technical knowledge how to build an agent.
hmm and we'll
That
show you. We'll show you how it is easy it is. Yeah.
yeah, and that takes us to some faster time to market. Instead of spending weeks to build an agent, you can do it in less than a day and have it ready, you have it in place and use it and deploy it to your
hmm
organization, to the people that
And,
can leverage it.
and
Then
not only fast, but accurate, right? Accuracy and evaluating and
also
improving it.
accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you have a deep integration with MLflow, including MLflow 3.0, which allows you to track and and see how the quality evaluates versus the agent. Like, what's the output? What's the expected output? Then also you have it automatically generates data sets behind the scenes that are used um, to test and evaluate the model, the agent further. And also, there's this new concept that they brought, which is agent learning from human feedback, which basically translates into using natural language for feedback for the agent that translates behind the scenes into different optimization techniques. It can be prompt engineering tuning, it can be changing the LLM or actually changing the agentic pattern behind the scenes. You
Mhm.
don't have to do anything for that. So you just tell, hey, don't use this data or take in consideration only these sections of the document, and behind the scenes it changes. You don't have to take it
Mhm.
from scratch every time.
Yeah.
So
Thank
yeah,
you,
using
Alex.
agent bricks enables you to engage domain experts and pretty much anyone in the organization to build their own agents, given that the technical knowledge is not a prerequisite anymore. So you
Hmm.
can democratize the access to AI and
Yeah.
nurture the power.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. Thank you
Thank you.
for the intro. And now let's go to the demo part, the exciting part of today's webinar. We have chosen two use cases, two demos, which are essentially in the area of information extraction. Demo number one is extracting something that we've seen very common, extract information from unstructured documents. And this is like PDFs, which might be text PDFs, searchable PDFs, or they might be even image, just image, plain old image PDFs. And it's essentially this enables a sort of like semantic search which works with different kind of templates, with different kind of wording. So the invoice doesn't have to be in the same format every time. It can be actually invoices from different suppliers that you can process with the same agent. And through prompting, like Alex mentioned earlier, you can instruct these agents to recognize fields regardless of where they are on the page, or even if they're on a different page altogether. So yeah, from this enables essentially from the image PDF to Markdown processing, and then from Markdown to a table inside Agent Bricks, which you can then expose to dashboards and you can run calculations and computations on. So this enables you to quickly jump from having 1,000 pictures of invoices to actual data that you can sum up and aggregate in Databricks. That I think that's exciting. And it doesn't just involve PDFs. Just think of any other types of forms, even bank statements or whatnot. This applies to many other cases. So that will be demo number one. And then demo number two, we'll have a look at legal documents, which is more complicated to do because you need to extract key information from huge chunks of text with no formatting to tables, right? Extract from these bulks of unstructured data, unformatted text. So there's no markdown here, no structure into tables. And you essentially add structure where there is no structure. And this goes beyond extraction. You can classify, you can summarize, you can reinterpret or transform, certain paragraphs from that legal document. And you can extract from deeds, contracts, agreements, whatever. And the evaluate this agent bricks enables you to, like Alex mentioned earlier, evaluate, learn, optimize. This is especially important for more difficult tasks like this one. It's important. And also this agent learning from human feedback, and also training, fine-tuning smaller, more specialized model to optimize speed and cost of models. So let's have a look at these. I will stop the slideshow And let's just go to um, yeah. So this is the, let's say, the final output. But let me show you how we got here. So I will quickly go to the catalog and show you that I prepared for this demo a table with invoices. And I will show you actually in the raw documents section here, I have invoices, and this is the raw PDF invoice. Okay. So this essentially is a PDF with invoice information. I have, I think, 100 different invoices here. So let's say I have this input and I want to build an agent to extract information from these invoices. And I will create a new agent. We can quickly go here to the agents. This is in beta right now. So expect changes, but let's try to do an information extraction. The first thing you have to do if you're working with PDFs, you have to click this button here and you need to create a workflow. You need to select where the PDFs are stored. And yeah, I have all the PDFs here. And you need to select the destination table. So this essentially parses all of the PDFs and it will store the output of those PDFs in a table. So I can select a table um, and I can confirm. I won't do that because I already did that before, and it will take some time. I think a couple of minutes or a little more for 100 documents. But essentially, you convert those PDFs to Markdown that will be stored in this table. You kick off this workload. You select an active SQL warehouse, and yeah, that's kind of it. That's what you need to do as a prerequisite to creating the agent. Because I don't know if we mentioned this, the agent itself is not able to use PDFs. Not this one, not the information extraction agent. The knowledge assistant agent, however, can. It can ingest PDFs and store them in a vector database so you can work with the agent directly. But the information extraction one is a little different. So let's say we have prepared these PDFs, and I can show you how this works. Um, Let me open two pages here. I will use a new SQL query, and I just want to show you.
Until that opens. A very nice part of this is you don't have to deploy anything else other than Databricks. I mean, you have the SQL warehouse, and pretty much that's it, which is a serverless option. You don't have to configure deeply the platform just to get it started. And I think that's a big
Yeah,
performance
for
enhancer for this.
for sure, for sure. And essentially, after you run that workflow of parsing the PDF documents, um, you essentially have this one. So there's a table now, invoice PDF parsed, which contains several columns. One is the path of the original PDF. And the other interesting column is the raw parsed column, but the actual, text of the invoice will be this nicely markdown formatted um, uh, bulk of text. And this is essentially the one that the agent will work with. Okay, so you can see here you have tables defined in markdown. You have, build to, you have the heading, which says, invoice number and so on. So but again, this can be different invoices in different formats, tables either at the beginning or at the end. These can be different formatting. And let's just go and try to create an agent. I'll just click build on the information extracting agent. I will be greeted with this four-step process. You have configure, you have build, review, and use. So right now I'm in the configure page. So what I need to do is select the folder with the text files. right? Or a table. I already have these in the table, invoice PDF parsed. I will select this one. I will say use this table. Select the column containing your text data. Remember, our column was named text. It constrains that big bulk chunk of string that is the markdown. And right now it's analyzed, it's scanning the first few rows and it's trying to understand what the schema of that extraction might look like. Again, this is just a small uh, let's say, sample output of how you would expect data to be extracted from this. So you can see here, balance due, order ID, ship to, ship mode. You can see items, and now we have an item array with one or multiple items in it. And we have a total. Um, we have bill to, date, invoice number. So we have several key elements that we, let's say, want to extract from this invoice. We can name the agent, we can name an agent. So we're invoice extraction 02, because I already created an agent before. And I will create agent. That's all there is to it to actually create an agent.
So how much was that? 2 minutes? Like without the talking?
Yeah.
Even two
It
minutes.
was more talking than actually, yeah. It will take, I think, a minute or so to actually spin up the agent. And then we will move on to the next page, the build page, which will essentially show us samples of the first few rows in that table and how the extraction works, right? So we'll have a look essentially at raw data on the left-hand side and parse data on the right-hand side, so we can compare and see if the extraction meets our expectations. So right now it's updating the agent. It moved to the build phase, as you will see here. We'll see that comparison that I mentioned in the center here. At the right-hand side, I want to point out the agent configuration bar, which enables you to adjust the schema if for some reason it does not meet your expectations. So you can see the results here. This is the raw markdown input, and this is the agent response extraction in JSON. If I want to see the full text, I'll just click full text, and I can see this is the raw markdown, okay? And at the right-hand side, this is the agent response. Balance due, okay. Subtotal, shipping total, 6805. Looks good. Bill to looks good. Ship to looks good. Order ID looks good. So yeah, looks good. You can browse to the next record and have a look here. Okay. Looks good as well. Yeah. So you can, quickly browse through the first 5 records, inspect the output, and see if if it is what you expected, what you need. However, I want to point out some things here. As you can see, the agent essentially said, the balance due or the total are not numbers, right? Just took the string $16.52 and it stored it into a string column. But maybe I want this to be an actual number, right? And maybe I want to store the currency in another column. That's where this right-hand side comes in. So you can actually adjust the schema definition. You can do so via these, nice form-like elements, or you can actually just edit the actual JSON here, which is the JSON schema. But let's use the friendly one, and let's say I want the total to not be a string. I want it to be a number. Okay, and yeah, it seems that it's true that this is indeed a duplicate. It actually says it identified that total and balance due are actually the same thing. Okay, and maybe I don't need the total. I'll delete it. Okay, and I'll keep balance due, and I'll put this as a number. And total flash amount that needs to be paid for the order. Okay, and I'll try to update the agent, see what this looks like. Tell it I need the number. Updating the agent takes less than a minute. And what else? Let's think, what else can we do? We might want to add a new column, which essentially is the currency. We might want to, let's see. Okay, nice. So we have now the number, the balance due is the number. And we should do that with the items as well, right? We have items here, we have item quantity, which is already an integer, item rate, which I want an integer. Oh, no, sorry, I want it to be a number as well. I want amount to be a number as well. And I don't like the date. The date, I want it to be a nicely formatted one. So I can quickly go to the date. So I can say the date associated with the order, likely that it was placed in ISO format. Let's put here YYY MMDD. Okay. And okay, and subtotal can also be a number. And shipping can also be a number, right? Let's have a look and let's update the agent. So you can work your way through that and quickly inspect the output of the agent, look through the top 5 records. And once you have what you need, you can then click Use Agent, which will essentially create an endpoint that you can then use in your queries. So let's have a look. Am I getting what I need? Yes, I'm getting numbers. I added I forgot about the currency field. So let me just add a new field here and I'll say currency and I'll say currency of the invoice in ISO format, uh, three digit ISO format, let's say example USD. Okay. And it will be a string and confirm, and we'll update the agent once more, right? Because we lost the dollars when I said, let's convert that to a number. The underlying LLM and the agent working behind the scenes knew what I wanted. I wanted a number, so it cleaned up the number nicely. But yeah, we got rid of the USD, and we want to store that in a different column. So let's see. It did that. Yes, we now have a new column called currency, and it correctly implied that the currency is USD based on what it has seen in the invoice, right? The dollar sign. So now I think we're ready. Let me look at the bigger amount. Okay, good. It's good. It's good. Let's start using our agent. So once you click this button, we get to the use page. And what we can do here is start the extraction of data for documents. We can create a DLT pipeline that runs at scheduled intervals to invoke the agent whenever there's new data coming in. Once we see, how the agent performs, we'll also have a look at the review page soon. We can also optimize and get a cheaper agent that works faster and is cheaper to use. Let's start extraction. So starting the extraction essentially creates a small SQL script that's brought up in the editor. And what you're doing essentially is running this function, AI query. You're using the endpoint, the agent endpoint that we just created, with certain parameters, if you want it to fail on error or not. We're providing the column that contains the text as the input. And then we're selecting from it, limiting it to 20. Let's have a look what this looks like. Start to compute resource. Yes, starting the compute resource. And let's see the output of the query. So essentially, what I should be getting, okay, and while this is starting, I will also create another query here. I want to show you in this page. I want to show you because I've prepared this before the webinar. I want to show you the um, the catalog, a view that I have created. Because as you will see here, the output of this query is, the raw input, so you can have a look at it, and the response. In the response, you will see that's nicely formatted JSON that we have seen in when building the agent, and we can see this JSON for each and every record, okay? But I know maybe I want to explode this JSON. I want these to become columns and use them in reports. So I can do that. And I created this definition for this invoice view beforehand. And essentially, it's using the same, with query results, running the same query. And then I'm using these, functions, sorry,
Oh, sure.
using these,
Of the JSON.
eh, yes, JSON functions to extract the fields from the JSON. And let's have a look at the output of this. Essentially, let's do, okay, and the invoice. Okay, unselected. Let's have a look how this looks like. Okay, and while this is loading, maybe I'll show you the agent that I prepared beforehand. Information extraction 01. This is the agent that I prepared previously and I worked with before this webinar. And I just wanted to point out this review page. Let's go quickly back here to see if it worked. The query worked, the view works. As you can see the input, the um, the raw markdown text, and then you can see the exploding of the JSON in columns. You can see balance due, order ID, ship to, ship mode, date. You can see now the date in nice ISO mode because I tweaked the prompt for that. You can see the currency because I added the column there, quantities, rates, amounts, and so on. So that's it, essentially. Now I can, save this query. I can, based from this query, I can create a dashboard. And I did so before. And let's have a look quickly at the dashboard here, the invoice dashboard. So I created a dashboard using the view behind the scenes. And now because I have all of these columns, I can do, all sorts of um, visualizations. I can, let's say, look, what are the sums of quantity over the ship modes? I can have a look, standard class, it's 39.39%. First class, it's 29.67%. I can also see the top bill to, right? Who are the people who ordered the most? And what the amount was, and maybe I want to look at invoice amounts over time. So I can do essentially any kind of reporting now that I have extracted from essentially, remember where we started from. We started from pictures in a PDF, right? And we ended up having a nicely formatted table that they can now expose as a report in. I mean, how cool is that? And this is not where this stops. And of course, we also want to have a look at how this is performing. And this is where the review page comes in. This is where we can see for each and every column what is the accuracy of that column. If there are any errors, and what do we mean by errors? Essentially, what Agentbricks is doing behind the scenes, it's creating a synthetic data. It's creating pairs of data. And what I mean by synthetic data, it's generating synthetic data set of ground truth information using a higher quality LLM judge, then to grade, evaluate if the LLM, the let's say the smaller LLM that has extracted the information from the raw text, it compares it to the synthetically generated ground truth data, and it sees if that matches or not. So let's see, I have a look here. I can see Superstore. If I look at this one, I can see that essentially I have a problem with, yeah, the currency. It didn't extract the currency correctly. So I I get this nice dashboard view-like, and this improves over time. Behind the scenes, it's using ML Flow, and I can quickly go to experiments here, and I can see the experiments. Let's see, have a look at this one. Okay, the ML flow experiments that are running behind the scenes and evaluating my data sets and learning and essentially improving the agent over time. And this enables you to get that high quality agents that we showed you in our presentation. I know we're
Mm.
running out of time. Sorry about that. Maybe I just quickly show you the other agent, the agreement extraction agent, just quickly.
And
Um,
in the meantime, if you have any questions, please leave them in the Q&A session, Q&A section, or in the chat. Ideally, in the Q&A, it's easier to track them. So we get the chance to respond to as many as possible.
Please, yes, just take 1 minute regarding this one. So this is a big blob of text on the left-hand side. Again, taken from PDFs, but I won't focus on the PDF side now. Just dumped here. These are different agreements from different states in the United States. So all are different. There's no common format. Every lawyer or company defines these agreements because these are agreements between companies, right? So there's no common template to these agreements. So they can all just write text as they want. But let's say I want to add a structure to that and extract certain information. And I define here sort of a schema for them. And I can extract some, generic agreement information like the agreement type. This is a distributor agreement, like an effective date when the agreement starts, the title of the agreement. Then I can extract the parties involved in the agreement, you know, Accuracy Incorporated, Siemens, and their roles in the agreement. And maybe I want to extract also the signatories, the contact person or the address of the company, right? I can do all of that just by defining this JSON schema and working with these prompts. You can see that here I've asked for an ISO format to the dates. Again, the dates in the documents are not ISO formatted. They're essentially just, 31st of July, 2025. And you need to essentially the advanced reasoning works with your prompt and transforms that into the formatting that you need. And yeah, this is essentially looks good. It adds structure to a very unstructured data set. I wanted to show you more. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Um, I hope this gives you a nice intro into what information extraction is capable of, and at least it gives you a taste and kind of an idea of what you can do with it. Again, this is not only for information extraction. You can also summarize documents. You can also, classify documents. And this is actually a classification problem that we have right here. The agreement type. Agreement type, because I've prompted it to, see the general category of the agreement, co-branding, supply, sponsorship, license. So I give it a nice list of categories, and it infers these categories and classifies this information from me. I mean, this is a classical classification problem using this agentic approach. So I will jump back to the slides. If you have questions, let
Actually,
us
there's a
know.
question that you already started to reply to. So
Okay.
we have this question for the retail sector. What are some use cases for retail that you can share with us? So what we can share with the audience.
Mhm.
And you started, but rather more generically saying, hey, classification, document understanding, and these are uh,
Yeah,
definite use cases for that. I
sure.
would,
For Yeah, for document on exactly one use case is document understanding. So in retail, you have maybe contracts. I know retailers have a lot of agreements and contracts with they pay rent, right, to
Mhm.
operate within certain regions. And if they run in many countries, all of these different legal documents and agreements might have very different formats. And let's say you want to centralize all of these legal documents and extract information from them, and or if yeah it essentially enables these kind of use cases for really processing unstructured data, but it also enables things like chatbots, let's say advanced reasoning chatbots that can maybe in an e-commerce situation or on your loyalty program on your phone, you can ask questions if a certain product is in stock, and the agent
When
will
you in
delegate.
brick and mortar, I would say, I mean, I
Yeah.
would not take that out. You can have a tablet, you can have a screen
Yeah.
in your store, and then have these kinds of knowledge assistant agents that
Hmm.
understand your, I don't know, your selling policies, or maybe you engage with, you use a tool and then you engage with your ERP that gives you your current stock, and then you say, hey, this is out of stock, or I cannot find it, or send a notification to one of the um, employees to come and help them and ask for assistance.
Yeah, exactly. Many different use cases for agents in the retail sector, and would be happy to discuss more if you're interested.
Definitely. Let's take the other questions also. So we answered this one. Um, We have another one. How does beta phase impact the usage of data agent bricks? So that's a very good point
Hmm.
here, because
Yeah.
agent bricks is a preview. It's a beta feature right now, so it will be public preview hopefully sooner rather than later. Um, as any other beta or preview feature, I would be extending monitoring in terms of any deployment and daily usage of this feature. I would say for smaller workloads, it's actually safe to use in production, even for higher ones, but you need to be careful. As it is for anything AI, you need to also have the um, mm, thinking or the mindset to not necessarily challenge, but you have to ensure the quality of that data, which comes back to evaluation and constant monitoring of the quality and efficiency of the agent. But other than that, I would say go for it, use it
Yeah.
as much as possible. It's
Yeah, maybe not use it in production right now, but try it out, provide feedback, and especially when you're, brainstorming what you can do with agents going forward. Um, yeah, I advise you to try it out and see what its capabilities are, if it aligns with you, and then maybe you can then, discuss internally, approve a budget, and yeah, get it working. Once it's in preview mode, essentially it's very close to actually production grade, production quality. So when it hits preview, then you can essentially start using it in production. Yeah.
And another one, what to take in consideration when enabling agent bricks in the workspace. Uh, this one is, I think, tied to the other one. What I would add to the previous answer is, let's say, not related to the beta stage or the previous stage of the product. I would rather go towards the nature of the feature. So this feature enables uh, a higher engagement in what counts to agent use. So you don't have all the AI experts that understand all the intricacies of an AI agent, how it's built, how it works behind the scenes. So it's important to have, let's say, best practices and a layer of knowledge that allows these people to set their expectations, to understand what they can do and what they cannot do with the agent, and help the use of the feature, and rather than having like, okay, this, you don't touch this, you should give access to the feature, and you should have a team behind that helps, understands the patterns, understands how these agents are built, what they are built for, and actually come and assist and support those using the feature.
Also, make sure you're right now. It's only available in the U.S. regions, from what I was able to find out.
Yeah.
So you can only enable it in yeah, US regions. It won't work in the EU for now, but that will change soon.
Yeah, for sure. Also, before we close out, in the chat you will find a link to our feedback form. Please take 1 minute to fill it out and give us any feedback. It helps us really build better tailored webinars and come with insightful information.
Yeah, and stay tuned. We really want to make another webinar to focus more on the practical side and focus more on more advanced agents like the knowledge agents, conversational agents.
Thank you so much, everyone, for attending, and wish you all a great afternoon ahead.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.